Good afternoon, everybody. It's Steve Lookner with Right Side Broadcasting coming to you with a news alert. Iran has seen widespread anti-government protests today in numerous cities. These protests started in a few cities yesterday, and they have spread today. There's a lot of stuff on social media, a lot of video and reporting about it. And so we want to come on and talk about these Iran protests, try to give a little perspective on them, talk about what they might mean, and show you some of the video we've been seeing from these protests. So these protests are focused from what I've been seeing in reporting on economic issues, complaints about high prices, complaints about Iran, the government, spending more on foreign entanglements, on wars in Yemen and military entanglements in Iraq and Syria instead of spending them at home. So there seems to be a lot of economic discontent there in Iran, and there have been protests in a number of cities today, and protests are pretty rare in Iran. Anti-government protests especially rare, and we've been hearing some chants at some of the protests, according to social media today, that are pretty strong anti-government protests calling for the ouster of the leader, that kind of thing, which can get you in a lot of trouble in Iran. So those kind of protests are rare. And some questions as to whether these will grow even bigger. I mean, it's not, tens of millions of people at this point, but it is significant that we do see significant crowds of people in a number of different cities in Iran. And the question is, do these grow? What happens to them? These are reportedly the biggest protests in Iran since 2009. Those were the protests after the election there, in which, was it the presidential election, I believe it was, where there were a number of complaints where protesters said the election was rigged. And then if you remember those protests, there were a lot of people protesting in 2009, and there were government forces that cracked down very hard on those people, beating them, shooting at them. So these are the biggest protests since 2009 in Iran. We want to show you some of the video that we're seeing and talk about show you some of the analysis that I've been reading and we've been seeing from analysts talking about Iran. So thank you for joining us today. Let's get into some of the specifics. If you want to write in and comment, you can write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Send me your comments. Also, if you send me, you might find video or social media stuff that I haven't shown, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner, and then I can share it with our audience. And thank you to our moderators we have in the YouTube chat today. Barbara Braley is there moderating, so thank you, Barbara, for being with us and moderating. All right, so before we get into the video and showing you different stuff on social media, there's a bunch of different stuff out there. I want to give you a brief summary of what's going on. This is the BBC News article, Iran cities hit by anti-government protests. It's a short article, so let's go through the article just so we can get some of the details out there. So this article from BBC says, anti-government demonstrations that began in one city yesterday on Thursday have now spread to several major cities in Iran. Large numbers reportedly turned out in Rasht in the north and Kermanshah in the west, with smaller protests in Isfahan, Hamadan, and elsewhere. I've seen video from other towns, and I will show you that coming up. The protests began against rising prices, but have spiraled into a general outcry against clerical rule and government policies. A small number of people have been arrested in Tehran, the capital. They were among a group of 50 people who gathered in the city square. So the protest in Tehran, according to BBC, was not that big. But you'll see in the video there are definitely bigger protests elsewhere. The Governor General of Tehran earlier said that any such gatherings would be firmly dealt with by the police, who are out in force on main intersections. So that's in Tehran, the capital. An initial BBC report of a demonstration in the southern city of Shiraz was not confirmed. And as I was saying before, BBC says, the demonstrations are the most serious and widespread expression of public discontent in Iran since protests in 2009 that followed a disputed election, correspondents say. Demonstrators were reportedly heard yelling slogans like, "The people are begging, the clerics act like God." Protests have even been held in Qum, I don't know if it's Qum or Qom, I'll say Qum, a holy city home to powerful clerics. The biggest protest on Thursday, that was yesterday, was in the northeastern city of Mashhad, where there were 52 arrests. You can see Mashhad on the map here in the northeast in the top right-hand corner. But There have been calls on social media for protests up and down the country despite warnings from the government against illegal gatherings. Videos posted on social media, which we'll show in a second, we'll show some of those videos, purport to show clashes between security forces and some demonstrators in Kermanshah on Friday. And I was talking about some of the slogans people were chanting. From the BBC article, it says, the protest started on Thursday with anger at the inability of the government of President Hassan Rouhani to control prices. The cost of eggs has doubled in a week. However, some developed into broader anti-government protests calling for the release of political prisoners and an end to police beatings. Let me just make sure, I want to make sure the sound is okay. President Hassan, cool, sounds good. There were also chants in Mashhad of "Not Gaza, not Lebanon, my life for Iran," a reference to what protesters say is the administration's focus on foreign policy rather than domestic issues. The arrests in Mashhad were for chanting harsh slogans, officials said. And then real quick, I want to just read you this very short analysis by a BBC Persian analyst here. Called Seething Discontent. This is by Khosrow Naji, and then I'll start showing you some of the video of the protest. So Khosrow Naji says, the demonstrations have taken the Iranian authorities by surprise. Impromptu anti-government demonstrations are rare in a country where the Revolutionary Guard and numerous intelligence agencies have a strong grip on the population. So these kind of demonstrations are quite rare in Iran. I've read that there are somewhat often economic demonstrations, but these type of demonstrations, especially with anti-government slogans being chanted, are supposedly rare in Iran. Predictably, the government is blaming anti-revolutionary elements and foreign agents, but the protests clearly stem from seething discontent in Iran, mainly because of the worsening economic conditions faced by ordinary Iranians. So analysts say these are economic-based protests. The main grievances are economic. A BBC Persian investigation has found out that Iranians, on average, have become 15% poorer in the last 10 years alone. Many believe that money that should be used to improve their lives in Iran is being spent by Iran's leaders on conflicts in Syria, Yemen, and Iraq. Billions are also being spent on spreading religious propaganda and Shia Islam around the world. But it seems that the hardliners opposed to President Rouhani may have triggered the unrest by holding a demonstration that quickly grew out of control and spread to cities and towns across the country. So one theory I've seen here is that the initial demonstration yesterday was started by hardliners in the government who don't like the more moderate Rouhani leadership that's trying to reform Iran somewhat, but that maybe once they started this demonstration, it kind of got out of control and spread throughout the country. Let's see. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to mention here. President Rouhani promised that the deal he signed with world powers, President Rouhani signed the Iran nuclear deal in 2015, which saw Iran limit its nuclear activities in return for the lifting of international sanctions, would boost economic growth. The economy has risen out of recession and inflation has been reduced, but businesses are still struggling from a lack of investment, and the official unemployment rate is 12.4%. Something else I've been seeing some people saying on social media is they've been saying that they think that Rouhani might have overpromised and underdelivered, and overpromised the economic benefits that would come from the Iran nuclear deal. And people now, their economic situation hasn't improved as much as they thought it would after the nuclear deal, and now they're upset about that. So we'll get to some more specific details about these protests in a second. But now I want to start showing you some of the video. A lot of video coming out today from these protests, and I can't confirm the authenticity really of any of it. All I can say is that it's been widely there. A number of verified accounts, a number of people who seem credible have been posting these different videos. So I would be shocked if it turned out like, hey, and we're seeing these reports from the BBC and the New York Times about protests. So it would shock me if all the videos I show you turn out to be like from 10 years ago or something. So let's look at some of the video that's been out there today. Give me a second. Let me call it up for you. Okay, here is one supposedly from the city of Rasht, and this was posted by Iran Wire at Iran Wire English. Let me play this for you. if this, assuming this video is legitimate and it is from today or yesterday, you can see that's not 50 people. That's hundreds of people shouting very loudly. So it's not like it's like 10 people and media is calling it a big protest. That's a significant protest there. Let me just show you a little more of this. Oh, and by the way, I want to say thanks. A couple people have made donations. 9 Fathoms says, and Iran so far away. But 9 Fathoms, I will read your joke because you donated. Thank you, 9 Fathoms, for the donation. Donated twice, 9 Fathoms. Thank you. We are viewer supported. So I don't know if mainstream media is covering this today. I'm guessing it's not getting that much coverage on the CNNs and the MSNBCs and the Foxes. I'm sure they're not going to do a long live stream like this on it. But if you like that we're covering this, if you like our coverage, please consider donating because we are viewer supported. Your donations are what keeps us on the air. So if you want to donate, you can do what 9 Fathoms did. Go to the bottom of the YouTube chat. Just click on the little $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. It's like a square $sign. You can click on that on the YouTube chat. Or you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. So let me just show you the start of this video again. Again, this is the a protest supposedly from the city of Rosh. And you can see it's a pretty sizable protest there. All right, let me show you some other video that we've been seeing on social media. This one also posted by Iran Wire. This one is from the city of Kazvin. Let's look at this one. Again, I can't confirm. I'm not going to keep saying this. I can't confirm the authenticity of any of these videos in particular. I have to think, given the reports we hear, that at least some of these videos are authentic, if not most or all of them. Christine Bestian made a donation. Thank you, Christine. Christine says, anyone know translation to their chants? Some of the videos I'll show you have translations written on them, not this one. So I don't know them, but feel free to write to me at Lookner on Twitter if you know translations. But let me show you this video right here. Nope, I want to do that. Sorry, and I realize, you know what? I think the video that when I play the video, I have to adjust the sound a little bit. I think it might be a little loud, so I'm turning down the sound on the videos a little bit so it matches my level. If the sound on the videos ends up being too low, just let me know. Shoot me a message at Lookner on Twitter, But I think now, I'm sorry if the sound on the videos was a little loud. I had it set lower before and it accidentally got moved up. So I'm going to put it where it should be. But let me know if the sound on the videos is too low. So that's another protest where if that's really what the Iran Wire says it is, that's not 50 people that protest. That's a lot of people out there. I think, by the way, we got a donation from DM. DM says, thanks, Steve. Love RSBN. Everyone donate, please. Thank you, DM. Very much appreciate it. Your donations are what keep us on the air and allow us to do streams like this. Here is a video I'm going to show you. I've seen this posted a couple different places, supposedly of a clash between protesters and authorities there in Iran today. Neri Zilber posted this, and it said Iran today. So let's look at the video. Hang on one second. No, we want to do this. There we go. Watch the start of that. Watch the start of that one again. playing you some of the different video I'm seeing from the protests in Iran. Hang on one sec. I'll get you some more. If you have comments or if you have other things you've seen on social media about these protests, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Oops. I want to show you a couple pieces of analysis that I saw online and I posted today. I retweeted, but I thought they were helpful. So somebody named Suzanne Maloney, who I think works at Brookings. Yeah, she works at Brookings Center for Brookings Center for Middle East Policy. She says, Iran's protests should and will draw outside media, but it's worth noting that in post-revolutionary Iran, they routinely experience small-scale protests over economic and other grievances. Most wane quickly. What matters in these protests are the size and scope, the geographic reach, the duration, the content, and especially the government response and repression. So we'll see if these grow. They seem to be growing. Will they grow further? What will the government do about it? We'll have to see. Also, Amir Taheri tweeted out, reports show unofficial curfew conditions imposed in at least 10 cities, including Mashhad, Sharud, Kashmir, and Yazd, as Islamic armed units are flown in to quell protests. So usually what happens in Iran when there are protests is they get put down by government forces there. So would not be surprising to see that happen, but we'll have to see how big they get. Here's a video posted. This is unconfirmed. Again, I'm just showing you some different stuff I'm seeing on social media, but I can't vouch and say any of it's definitely what it purports to be. This is supposedly from the city of Qum, posted by Sia Aram. Let's see this one. Okay, that was that video, and I'm going to show you some more videos in a second. I just want to read a couple comments from viewers. Vika Varkov, she doesn't think these protests are that big. She says this is just a small number of unemployed young. The Iranian government is stronger than ever, and more important, most Iranians don't get involved because they know nothing will change. So that's one of our viewers, Vika's opinions. Tammy Joe says, all she can understand of the protests is death to dictator. Catherine Rain writes in, Mr. President Donald Trump, please add RSBN TV and Lookner to your newsfeed. RSBN is a small outlet actually covering the protests in Iran right now, while CNN is talking about sneezing pandas and telling lies. Glad you enjoy our coverage, Catherine. And then one of our viewers sent me, a couple of you sent me videos, so I'm going to show you those now. Hang on one second. If you have videos that you're seeing, write to me at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner. Who sent me this one thing? Yeah, Tammy Joe sent me a video from Al Arabiya English, and they have a bunch of videos posted. So let me check out some of those for you. Give me 1 second. Let me get those on the screen. It might be Al Arabiya English. I might be pronouncing it wrong. So, okay, here's a post from them, and it says, "Hang on, let me restart this so you can actually watch it." Some footage in social media showed police presence in cities like Rasht and Qom using water cannon and tear gas to disperse demonstrators. So this is from Al Arabiya English. And again, these are large protests. It's not 20 people. It's not 30 people. It looks like at least hundreds of people at a number of these protests we're seeing video of. Okay, let's play some more video here. This is another video from Rasht, posted by Al Arabiya English, and it says, hang on. Thousands of people protested in Rasht, north of Iran, earlier in the day over rising food prices and inflation, with many saying it was due to government corruption. So let's check out this one. We won't watch all 3 minutes of that or whatever. I just want to give you a sampling of that one. And also want to show you, I'm going to show you some more videos in a second. I just want to show you also, I thought the New York Times article had some interesting analysis in it toward the end of the article. So the Times had an article today, scattered protests erupt in Iran over economic woes. And I was going to show you, well, also, first of all, they have a video here. The Iranian police dispersed anti-government protesters in the western city of Kermanshah on Friday. So that was going on. But I also, you can see that's water cannon. You can see water spraying on them. They're spraying water on them from the back. You can see the water being sprayed on them. But they also, toward the end, had some things here. Let me see if I can find it here. So this one analyst said in this article, periodic protests in Iran are not unusual and they usually die down quickly, but this one seems to have gained some momentum at the national level, mostly because it coincides with Rouhani's tightening of the economic belt, slashing subsidies for 30 million people, doubling gasoline prices, etc. said Ali Vaez, the Iran project director for the International Crisis Group. The trigger was apparently a protest that the government's hardline opponents organized in Mashhad, which got out of control and turned into an anti-regime rally and is now spreading across the country. And he also said that tomorrow is the 8th day of the nationwide demonstrations after the 2009 elections, which ended up getting crushed by the government, which were the biggest. These are the biggest protests we've seen in Iran since 2009. This analyst also says the system will probably use it as a show of force, and in its wake will repress any dissent. The only meaningful consequence probably is that it will provide ammunition for the Trump administration to further condemn the regime. And then here's another perspective on it from Faisal Maybodi, a reformist cleric, said he believed the protest. He's in Iran. He believed the protests had emerged from authentic concerns, as the government's new budget had made people in the provincial towns angry. If the police and government treat people gently, he said, this crisis will wane and tranquility will prevail. Otherwise, they might, I stressed might, grow in the future. Economic issues are urgent, and the protests have nothing to do with any factions, neither reformist nor hardliner. Poor people are protesting. That is it. So a lot of analysts are saying these protests are economic in nature, complaints about economic conditions there in Iran. Let's go watch some more video. Be sure to subscribe to us, by the way, on YouTube and click the notifications bell so you get notified whenever we come on the air for a live video like this. We do them all the time. And if you have comments or if you have video that you've seen online or any social media stuff from Iran that you want me to show, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. I want to just keep showing you some more videos that I've been seeing here today. This is a video that was posted by somebody named Ali Reza Nader, who posted a video originally posted by Borzu Daragahi, and it says Iranians ask security forces to stand with them. So let's play this one.
مردم راه نیروی انتظامی بستند. اینجا رشت، حاجی آباد، متحری.
Again, another sizable protest there. Not sure exactly where in Iran that is from. Let's go to another one. This video was sent to me by viewer Jeremy Cornett, and it says it's from somebody named, and again, to repeat, I can't confirm the authenticity of any specific one of these videos, but given the multiple reports we're seeing in the media about protests, I have to assume that many of these videos are indeed from the protests today. This is from somebody named, and yesterday, from Vladimir, and it says, protesters in Kermanshah shout death to dictator. So let's watch this one. Oops. Okay, let's go to another one. This one was sent by viewer Catherine Rain, and this is somebody. Now, I have no idea if this person has any idea what they're talking about. They say Andrei Rublev says collapsing of Islamic Republic has begun. For all I know, this person might know nothing about Iran, or they might know a lot. I can't tell, but let me just see what the video is. It appears to be a protest from today or yesterday, so we'll play it and show you. Again, a lot of video on social media coming out the last 24 hours, especially the last I started seeing this stuff this morning. A lot of it's hitting social media today. Okay. Let's get some more video for you. I don't think we've seen this one yet. From Iran Wire, it says more videos from the mass protests across Iran. This one is from Khorramabad. Oops, I can't. Hold on. Wait a second. I can't have the sound on. That has music on it. YouTube gets very mad if you play music that's copyrighted. So if that's copyrighted music, I can't play that for you because YouTube will get very, very, very mad at us. Well, what can you do? I don't think we've seen this one yet. This is from the city of Sari, posted by Iran Wire. At Iran Wire English. Again, these are significant protests. This is a lot of people. And in a country where protesting is certainly not very well tolerated. Here is a post by somebody named Maziar Bahari, and it says, a woman in Isfahan, central Iran, screams at the police, "I supported my leader and my president. Why am I being treated like this? I'd rather die than move." Now, I don't know if her specific complaint is about the economy, like a lot of the protesters, so I can't really put that in context. But I'll show you the video. Hang on a second. So let me get this up here from Iran Wire. So seeing a lot of protesting, a lot of upset people there in Iran. You're watching Right Side Broadcasting's live coverage of the Iran protests that have been going on today and yesterday. They spread a lot today in Iran, focusing on economic issues. If you like our coverage, please consider donating. Your donations are what allow us to do this coverage and give you this coverage. Again, I'll turn on the news channels for a second. I'm pretty sure that you're not going to see a lot of coverage of this in the mainstream media today. Yeah, they're not talking. Well, Fox News doesn't have it on right now, and MSNBC does not. Well, they're in a commercial, and CNN. I bet they're talking about Trump. They're talking about 2017 news stories. But we wanted to cover this for you today. We think it's really important. But if you like our coverage, please support Right Side because we are viewer supported. Your donations keep us on the air. To donate to Right Side Broadcasting, go to the bottom of the YouTube chat. Click on the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. There's a little $sign there. So you can click on that. Or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Thanks so much to our moderators in the chat room. Barbara Braley's been moderating today. Thank you, Barbara. And give me a shout on Twitter if you have comments. If you see social media stuff you want me to show about the Iran protests, write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Or you can follow me. Well, you can do both. But if you want to follow me, I post about breaking news all the time. I've been posting about these Iran protests today before I even came on the air. So follow me on Twitter at Lookner. Also, feel free to like and share the video. Like it on YouTube, share it on Facebook if you're enjoying the coverage because that really helps other people find out about Right Side Broadcasting and that we're doing this coverage. Okay, let's see what else I can find you in terms of video. Here's one. Says, posted by Babak Tagvai, and it says, people of Qom, or Qum, I'll say Qom. I think I was going to say Qum before. I don't know. I'll stick with Qum. Qum are chanting now, we don't want Islamic Republic. A big no to Islamic regime in Iran in top religious city of the country, home of Shia clerics. So some people in this religious city are saying they don't want an Islamic Republic. Let's see. Thank you, Andy Barr, for the donation. We really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Andy says, thanks, Steve, and RSBN. Here is a post I'll show you from Narges Bajagli, and it says, down with the dictator being chanted in the Iran city of Hamadan. Let's watch. This was posted by BBC Persian. Okay, I want to show you a video that was sent to me by viewer Edie Marie Trump. Hold on, I'll pull it up here. According to the translation, this was posted by somebody named Mariam M. According to the translation, the people are saying in this video, death to Hezbollah. So let me just show you this one. See if I can fit it all on the screen. I think that's the best I can do. Hang on, I'll turn the sound on and play it again. So we're seeing a lot of videos like this with a lot of people in the street chanting, protesting. You know, what we haven't seen a lot of yet, which is a good thing, is, I mean, we've seen a couple of videos. We've seen one where protesters were being shot at with a water cannon to disperse them. We've seen another one where there were some clashes going on between some protesters and some police. But we haven't seen like the kind of like big, violent, bloody repression of protests. Now, I wonder though, you know, if these protests keep growing, might we end up seeing something like that, kind of like what we saw in 2009? That's two important questions. Will these protests keep growing and keep going? And if so, will the government violently crack down on them? So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Before we get to more video, I want to just show you a couple more details, some of the specifics from these protests today. The New York Times article talked about the economy, which I thought was helpful. So this is this New York Times article from today. It says scattered protests erupt in Iran over economic woes. And the part I wanted to show you is some of the economic details. Although foreign investment is rising, the country considers to survive mainly on oil sales. Youth unemployment stands at more than 40%. Sluggish state-owned enterprises control significant sectors of the economy, and American sanctions prevent most international banks from providing financing or credit to Iran. So youth unemployment at more than 40%. And then, where is the... here's the thing about the new budget. Oops. A new budget was presented by the government this month, which was a new budget presented by the government this month was widely debated on Telegram, Iran's most used social media outlet. Many people were upset over appropriations for religious and revolutionary institutions, while other areas of the budget were cut. An unpopular exit tax that Iranians pay whenever they travel outside the country was increased, and millions of dollars were cut from a modest but popular subsidy plan. At the same time, the government has allowed foreign currency to rise over the past half year, a psychological blow that resulted in the inflation of certain products, like a 40% increase in the price of eggs. So some economic details behind these protests today. Sharon doesn't think we should be covering this. Sharon writes in, what does she write? Let me get your message here. Sorry, Steve, we have problems here that should be covered. Well, we like to cover stories that we think are happening around the world. We cover American stories, but we also cover international stories because we think those are important too. Also, these international stories have important effects on America, so we want to cover them for that reason as well. Both for their own importance and for their importance to America. But we respect your opinion, Sharon. We're happy to read your comment on the air. Okay, let me get to a couple more videos for you. This was posted, by the way, from about the slogans you're hearing. Galnaz Asfandiari posts some of the chants during the second day of the protests in Iran. "O Shah, please return to Iran." So the Shah was the ruler of the Iran before the Iranian Revolution. He was an ally of the United States. "Death to the dictator," "Mullahs must get lost," "Sayyid Ali Khamenei, sorry, we have to stand up," "Political prisoners must be released, we will die, but we will take back Iran." So some pretty strong language by some of the protesters today. Here's a video which I don't think we've seen yet. This was posted by Borzu Daragahi, and it says, "Protest this evening in Shiraz, Iran. The mullah must get lost." I believe the definition of mullah is like religious official, religious leader. A Muslim learned in Islamic theology and sacred law. So let me play you this video.
بشه روحان بش بشه آخون باید گم 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 بشه.
This person, Golnaz Esfandiari, also posted. By the way, I'll tell you a little more about her. She is. Boy, maybe if it would show me the thing about her. Well, I'll find out who she is in a second. She says the protests highlight once again the gap between the Iranian establishment and the people. Tehran is likely to respond with force. And she covers Iran for RFERL. She also serves as an Iran analyst for Freedom House. Also, one more post by this person, Golnaz Esfandiari. She says, protests took place today in Kermanshah, Rasht, Sari, Isfahan, and Qom. These are the largest anti-government protests in Iran since 2009. They were reportedly instigated by the anti-Rouhani camp, but they seem to have gotten out of control. Try to get you some more video here. This I don't think we've seen. Have we? I don't think so. This is from Iran Wire. Protests in the city of Sabzevar. Make sure the audio is okay. Oh, good. Okay. Sounds like the level on the video audio is good. Have we seen this one yet? I'm not sure if we've seen this one yet. This is from Al Arabiya English, and it says, anti-riot police and Basij militias were called to brutally suppress peaceful protests in Rasht and several other cities in Iran. I don't think we've seen this particular one yet, but let's see. So I do know, I remember from the 2009 pro-democracy protests after the election, which some people claimed was rigged, a lot of the people who put down those protests were these Basij militias who ride around on motorcycles often. So I'm wondering if the motorcycles in this are similar, where it's the people on the motorcycles like the same people who who were a big part of putting down the 2009 protests. But you can see a number of people with military-like uniforms on motorcycles. Let's watch this again. Just looking for some more video here. Here's one we haven't seen yet. This was posted by Iran Wire. It says, "Not Gaza, not Lebanon. I give my life for Iran," protesters chant in Esfahan, Iran's second largest city. Got a message from our viewer John Magoo. He says, "Steve, are you going to do a live New Year's stream?" Yeah, we are. Right Side Broadcasting. We are doing a New Year's Eve special. If you're around on New Year's and you want to watch it, it's going to be New Year's Eve. Right now, the scheduled start time is 10 p.m. Eastern. The event is already up on our YouTube page, so we'd love for you guys to join us on New Year's Eve. We're going to be watching some of the New Year's celebrations throughout the world. We might get started a little earlier if we can and show you some other celebrations from throughout the world. We'll see. I'm looking into that right now. But definitely New Year's Eve, once we get to 10 Eastern time, we'll be on the air. So we'd love to have any and all of you with us for that here at Right Side Broadcasting. Okay, we're going to be on a little while longer here with this stream. So if you have any comments or if you have any videos you've seen on social media you want to pass along and have our viewers see, give me a shout on Twitter, at Lookner, at Lookner. Also, thanks so much to those of you who donated. Your donations allow us to do this coverage. And as I said before, I'm guessing if the mainstream media covered this today, like CNN or whoever, they probably did like 4 minutes on it or something. But we're showing you a lot of different videos, giving you perspective, and we really like the ability to be able to come on and do a whole stream on this. So we enjoy being able to do this for you. But you guys do keep us on the air with your donations, so if you like our coverage, please consider donating. You can go to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. It looks like a little square dollar symbol. Or you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Also follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting, and on Twitter, we're at RSB Network, and you can follow me for breaking news coverage. I'm at Lookner. Thank you, Barbara. And Jude is now there. As Barbara and Jude are moderating now in the chat room. We very much appreciate it. Thank you, guys. So I'll show you a couple more videos here. Oh, and let me show you a couple of American politicians have posted thoughts about this. I know Tom Cotton posted before. A viewer sent me this. I can't remember who sent me that. But Tom Cotton and Paul Ryan posted as well. So let me show you what they posted about the Iran situation. Here's what Senator Tom Cotton posted, and then I'll show you Paul Ryan's. Tom Cotton said, "Even after the billions in sanctions relief they secured through the nuclear deal, the Ayatollahs still can't provide for the basic needs of their own people, perhaps because they funneled so much of that money into their campaigns of regional aggression in Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and Yemen. The protests in Mashhad show that a regime driven by such hateful ideology cannot maintain broad popular support forever, and we should support the Iranian people who are willing to risk their lives to speak out against it." That's Senator Tom Cotton. And I'm going to show you Paul Ryan's in a second. But first, 9 Fathoms made another donation. Thank you, 9 Fathoms. That's very kind of you. And 9 Fathoms said, because Steve said so. Well, hopefully, it's really because hopefully you like the coverage, and that's why you donate and want to see more of it. Thank you, 9 Fathoms. Very nice of you. So let me show you Paul Ryan's comment on the Iran situation. Paul Ryan says, "Important that we support the non-violent protesters in Iran. This is the result of a regime more focused on propping up terrorist organizations than addressing the plight of its citizens." Here is someone named Joshua Yazmeh, who's a freelance journalist. He's been posting some of his opinions on Iran, and he says, so he posted a tweet of a woman screaming, "Death to Khamenei," who's the religious leader in Iran. She's shouting this in front of the law enforcement forces, and crowds chant along with her. And Joshua Yazmeh says, "This would never happen a year ago, let alone a decade ago. Rhetoric is incredibly bold. This level of vocal defiance is unprecedented. We didn't hear chants like this during the 2009 Green Revolution. Hard to deny that tone here is unprecedented. People are emboldened." So that's from Joshua Yazmeh. So let's play this video here. Posted by Potkin Azarmer. All right. Oh, I have a video of a clash with Riot police. This was just posted by Al Arabiya English. Check it out. Video on social media earlier Friday night shows protesters in Iran's northern city of Hamadan clashing with Riot police. Let's watch this one. Let's get some volume first. Hang on. Is there no there might not be volume on this one. Let's see. I apologize if there's no volume on the video. There might be no volume and just... Yeah, it looks like there's just video. So you can see some kicking going on there. And let me just do a little search here. Bear with me for a second. I want to try to get you some other stuff from social media. I don't think we've seen this video yet. This was posted by News Executive. And it says, massive anti-regime protests in a number of cities across Iran. Protesters are chanting "Death to Rouhani, death to dictator," and "No to Gaza, no to Lebanon, my life for Iran." So let's play this video. All right, so we'll be keeping an eye on this situation. We'll have to see, will these protests grow? Will they die out? Will the government, if they grow, really crack down hard on them? I can't imagine if they keep going on, the government will let them go on for that long. So, but we will be keeping an eye on this. If there's big news about it, we will definitely come back on the air and cover it for you. In the meantime, I'll be covering it on my Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. You can follow me there. So I think we're going to wrap up this stream right now. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to our moderators, Barbara, Braley, and Jude, for moderating the chat room. Thanks to everybody who sent me in comments, videos, suggestions. We really appreciate that. You guys help us cover breaking news here. And thanks so much to those of you who donated. Your donations are what let us do this programming, let us do a whole stream on this important thing going on in Iran today, which probably was not covered very much at all in the mainstream media news channels, but we wanted to cover it for you. So if you like our coverage, please consider donating. You can donate by going to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. You can even get free stuff like this right side mug here. See? You can get free stuff like this for setting up a monthly donation at rsbn.tv/donate. So we will be around this weekend. If there's big news that happens, we'll come on the air and cover it. So subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the notifications bell so you get notified when we're coming on the air. Follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting. On Twitter, we're at @RSB Network. Also, so we'll come on if there's big news this weekend. And Sunday night, join us for RSBN's live New Year's special. I'll be here. CEO Joe Seals, I'm sure we'll be hearing from. He's going to be producing, but I'm sure we'll be actually hearing from him during the broadcast too. And who knows what else we'll be doing on the broadcast. But we're looking forward to showing some of the New Year's sights and sounds to you on New Year's Eve and celebrating New Year's with you. So join us Sunday night for that. Thanks everybody in the chat room, in the YouTube chat room. Thank you, Beamer Boy, Joanne Goldsnyder. People are saying thanks, Barry H. Who else is there? Mr. Marizzle, The American, Lily Hager, Marissa. Marissa likes my tie. Thank you, Marissa. Beamer Boy. History B says, thanks, Stephen RSBN, for excellent coverage. Thank you, History B. Patriot of Truth, DM. Family Guy Fan, 889. Hugh. JC, S. Ward. I Dan the Man, thank you. A lot of people saying thanks in the chat room. Candy. Joshua Sr. And everybody else there in the chat room. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast today. And we'll see you soon, I'm sure, with more news. But for now, I am Steve Lookner. This is Right Side Broadcasting. We're wishing you an early Happy New Year. But join us on New Year's Eve for our live coverage. We want to celebrate it with you. Okay, that's it for now. Have a great day from everybody at Right Side Broadcasting, and we will see you very soon.